the GoPro Hero 9. The king is back, they say stronger and better than ever, and while footage-wise might be the case, this generation seems to downgrade usability in some ways. Let's inspect. Welcome, Tech4All channel, my name is Michael, so happy to see you on the channel, and if you enjoy the idea of inspecting cool tech, then consider subscribing. It's been already close to 2 months testing the Hero 9, so I believe it's the right time to assess its qualities and to find out whether it's a functionally good enough upgrade to the Hero 8, which was still a very good action camera, but now this is the new generation, everybody's talking about it, so yeah. Since this channel is so much focused on action cameras, it's worth giving my 50 cents about it. Now, the Hero 9, this is a vlogging example. It's so good that I can finally frame myself and see myself on the front screen. This is a great new feature. I'll tell you about all the rest of the significant nice upgrades and let you know how they actually feel. And I do realize this is a very nice day for vlogging. You see the sky's blue and it's pretty quiet, so that the embedded microphone is probably working pretty well. 4K, no, actually that's 5.3K, 30 frames per second, which I'm probably going to downscale in the editing. And that's the flat color mode, recorded with the linear mode, so that when we go past these trees, they don't look bent or distorted. And in this video, you're gonna see a lot of other footage examples, and I've prepared some very interesting comparisons, which are going to show some strengths, but also some weaknesses. Before I go any further with details, hardware and software information, let me be very clear. If you're about to get a new action camera, totally, the Hero 9 Black is fantastic and maybe one of the best all-around packs you can find out there. But if you wonder whether to upgrade from GoPro Hero 7 or 8 or DJI Osmo Action or Insta360 One R, hang on for a moment and check this out. Firstly, the price. It's actually cheaper than the previous generations if you decide to go for the GoPro Plus service, which I can very passionately recommend, especially if you think there's something extreme in what you're going to do. I sometimes hook the GoPro on drones or use some weird accessories or go biking and accidents happen. For only $40 a year, pretty good deal for cloud storage, replacement options and accessory discounts. Check the description of the video for more info and link to that. Comparison in euro, because I'm located in Europe, I paid 430 euro for the Hero 8 and then another 45 euro for the GoPro Plus service, and the Hero 9 costs me 379 euro with that subscription included. So I've paid like 100 euro less than last year, and that's of course a great deal. When everybody says that GoPro is now more expensive, I don't think it is. It's just a way GoPro to make us notice this really nice service, which enables you to get replacement in case something breaks, for free. In that sense, GoPro undercuts the Insta360 offers and gets really close to the Osmo Action, which is almost a year and a half old now. If you want to go cheaper, there are a lot of alternatives with weaker specs and modest performance, like SJ-Cam, Akaso, Firefly and others, but they're not that good. I'm gonna cut to the minimum the tech specs info and focus on usability and my feedback after 2 months of using the Hero 9. We'll highlight for you what is important and what you should know before you make up your mind about buying this one or not. Or, if you have the Hero 9 already, to feed you with some ideas how to use it more efficiently. So, the latest GoPro has now a new package which is nature-friendlier. From the package, the most interesting part is the carrying case. Took a number of generations for GoPro to realize it's actually a good idea, so I very much welcome this idea. Inside you can fit the camera and some high-necessity small accessories or mounts. If you want something slightly bigger and more functional, you can get such a hard case from BBM, and make sure to check my video about the best GoPro Hero accessories, which will help you to bring your footage on another level. The technical specs are very promising. 23 megapixel sensor inside. The IMX677 sensor by Sony with 1x2 to 3 inch surface, the well-known GP1 processor, a much larger battery with 1720 mAh capacity, lens cover which is again replaceable, waterproof body, better microphones, a larger main screen, and now a new colorful front LCD to help you frame yourself better when you're vlogging. The rest is similar to the previous generation. Good news about the battery, not only much bigger, but it can now be charged while you're shooting something, so you probably don't really need spare batteries. We also see a difference in terms of size and scale. From 126 grams, the weight now jumps to 158 grams, a significant bump, and that makes the GoPro as heavyweight as a medium-sized smartphone. Yes, this is a serious trade-off for people hoping to use it on FPV drones, because weight there is quite crucial. For most users, that won't make a big difference, but I will now trust way less mounts that are adhesive-based. The mount at the bottom is the same magnet-based as the one with the Hero 8, and I tried a few interesting QR modules from Ulanzi. Pretty nice idea if you're looking for static shots but need to maintain the option for a quick release from the tripod. They are designed for larger cameras but worked great with the Hero 9 the few times I've tried. Generally, the hardware has nothing fundamentally changed. It is good upgrade in most ways, except for the CPU, however nothing bold and fancy. Many GoPro fans hope not only to see more megapixels, but also a larger image sensor. For example, the competition, the Insta360 has launched a 1-inch sensor and 5K recording a few months ago, and Sony also have an action cam with 1-inch sensor, which clearly is a great deal for low light footage. What can we say about the performance? Well, usually from one generation to another we expect to see upgrades, and there are a lot of them with Hero 9, but low light performance doesn't seem to be one of these areas, at least not yet. Could be that firmware tweaks would improve it, but for now, the first time I noticed that Hero 9 lacks details in low light was when comparing it to the Insta360 One X2. Apparently there is less noise with the Hero 9, and at the first sight the overall feeling seems better, but clearly has less details. Not that the low-light footage is too bad, especially if there is something bright and colorful to cheer up the scene. I've been playing a lot with the Flynova Pro, super safe and super fun. Think of that as something like a drone-based spinner. And thanks a lot to Flynova for sponsoring this video. Make sure to check their campaign and link with more information you're going to find in the description below the video. Now, placing the Hero 9 side by side with Hero 8, zooming 5 times in a rather low light scenario, bumping up the exposure so that they look brighter, and adding the same amount of sharpness and contrast, and surprisingly the Hero 9 has less details. In fact, those of you that are good about calculations have probably done the maths right. We have a sensor with the same surface area as the previous generation, however with a lot more effective pixels now, so each one of them gets a smaller share of the light. Yes, there is supposed to be something like pixel binning, but things are getting even worse for the Hero 9 when we place it side by side with the Osmo Action, where we can clearly distinguish eyes and some of the marks on the scale, the rings around the planet, the sun and so on. I really look forward to hearing about your opinion here, so share with me what you think about this footage in the comments below. Luckily for us, 4K and 5K shooting in daylight is superb, and I believe it looks way better than most other action cams. Footage is rich on details, sharp, very well balanced. I can notice an improvement with the dynamic range. The stabilization is now even more fabulous, and it's called Hypersmooth 3.0, and there are a lot of other software improvements to help you to do better videos. Those of them which are worth mentioning, horizon leveling, which is a game changer. It's been so many times when lack of properly leveled horizon ruins the footage. Not that you can't rotate it in post-production, but for certain angles it's gonna look bad, especially if you shoot in super wide mode. The other cool new feature is called Hint Side. It's a pretty great idea. The camera is actually doing a recording even if you haven't pressed the record button, and has a buffer of 15 to 30 seconds. So if you figure out that something cool happened before you press the shutter, you can preserve whatever has been captured in that time, and it's like being able to go back in time. On theory, amazing. But here's another weakness of the Hero 9 being brutally exposed. If the feature is on, look at the responsiveness. The camera becomes barely usable and extremely laggy. The processing power of the Hero series has been questioned ever since the Hero 6 exists on the market, and the truth is that GoPro continued to use the homegrown GP1 processor in a 4th consecutive generation. Honestly, that's a shame, and while you won't get any dropped frames or issues while recording, at least not most of the time, navigation at moments is very frustrating. Feels like a 5-year smartphone trying to cope with current versions of Facebook and Google Chrome. If you have disabled Hint Side, the menus are better responsive, but it's not even close to what the 2019 Osmo Action can do, or even the Insta360 One R. GoPro continue to use their presets, having a few different groups of settings that you can switch between and you can of course customize. The footage looks stunning most of the time, gives room for color grading. You can use the flat color mode, allowing you to better color grade in post-production. I use it most times because of that single reason. But if you need your footage to look great without using software, yeah, the GoPro setting is to be used. More contrast, sharpness and vivid colors, something quite typical for action cam footage. To the key advantages of the Hero 9, we also count the frame rates, because you can shoot crazy good slow motion in some situations now with stabilization. The Hero 9 Black is the action camera with the best slow motion capabilities ever, beating by far any mentioned so far competitors, including the Osmo Action and the Insta360 and also has superb 60 FPS in 1080p and 4K in Super View wide-angle modes. There are a lot of interesting time-lapse options as well. Time Warp, which is GoPro's implementation, still something that the competition hasn't come close enough to. Shooting photos is also an option. Besides taking a snapshot from any video, you can also choose one of the few photo settings. GoPro claim an improvement, and while such is visible in daylight, it's apparently a long way to go about the low-light performance. Just an example, comparison to my smartphone's ultra-wide-angle camera. We have to be fair, this is one of the really good smartphone cameras this year and has much larger sensor. But we keep the phone around so that I can show you the smartphone app, full control of the camera, and a remote function, quite perfect if you need to shoot something from a distance. GoPro have a nice editing software app, and now support using the Hero 9 as a webcam. Live streaming to Facebook and YouTube is also well possible. If you equip it with a mic adapter and shotgun mic, it can be quite good for that purpose, or of course for having a very lightweight yet quite capable vlogging setup. As usual, I keep a list with areas for improvement or just drawbacks. The form factor is now different, so the Hero 9 is incompatible with most action cam gimbals. Again, it's too heavy, maybe already too bulky for an action cam, annoyingly slow menus, too small image sensor, and generally it lacks the grade of innovation that we associate with GoPro as a brand. To sum things up and associate with a buying decision, if having a front screen is not a priority for you, and if you already own Hero 6, 7 or 8, the Hero 9 will hardly feel as a big upgrade. While video quality is clearly better, it is not that much better to spend your money on it. If you're looking to get a good action cam for low light, better consider the Osmo Action by DJI, or possibly the Insta360 with a 1-inch sensor. If you're looking to buy your first good action camera, or upgrading on top of something older and less capable, or if you want a great social media friendly device, then totally, the Hero 9 is going to nail it and represents almost all the best you can get out of the action camera world right now. Capable, with excellent image quality, rather stable, with tons of good features and a lot of them are cool and creative, and easy to access menus. Undeniably the most popular action camera out there ever since the company released the Hero 1, but quite insignificant upgrade again, at least in my opinion. Yes, this is the action camera I'll probably use the most in the next year, but I hope for more. Yes, we have now to settle down and to look forward to seeing the Hero 10, because it must be something quite special. Maybe a 1-inch sensor, swappable modules and finally a better CPU? Who knows? Well, this is it for today, and thanks a lot for checking out this episode, showing you the GoPro Hero 9 after 2 months of using it. If you have any comments or questions, there's the comment section below to keep us close together in these times where we are so distant. If you like the content on the channel, then use the subscribe button, maybe the like, and the link to GoPro from the description should you want to order yours and support the channel. Also, over there I'm going to place all the links to all the gadgets that you've seen throughout this episode. Stay safe, have a lot of fun using your action camera, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!